Hello, everybody, and welcome to the end of Chillville, Season 4. I wanted to do something a little bit differently this episode, so it might be a little bit somber, especially with this beautiful, beautiful snowy intro that I waited for forever for it to stop snowing, but we're just going to have to make the bitrate suffer. Today I'm doing a minor tour of Chillville just to show some of the things that I didn't do, like the torii gate we just passed through, especially where we started. Now, this area right here is what I call the plateau. This is kind of where we, as a community, focused our spawn whenever the season started. We had our member Jazzy. She basically picked out a seed that. Oh, Spree's going to sleep. She picked out a seed that kind of basically had this plateau really close to a cherry blossom biome, also close to spawn. Like I don't know how she dug through it, but she did, and we kind of made this a communal project. My part was actually this right here, this items sorter, and I didn't really do much. I did the fountain at top to drop things through and the made the chute, but someone else actually completed it. I believe they made everything a special item sorter that would do specific types of items. I don't know the redstone for it, how it works. I know the very basic impulse item sorter, which is what I did for just like general common use blocks. I let them do this, had fun, and I completely just removed myself from it. I hope you do like the spectate camera. I intend to use it a lot more. I did dig this area out at least, though. That's about the extent of what I did. So again, I didn't do much of the actual starting island. So for example, I know Panda made this, and I don't remember who made everything. I believe the inn on the starting island was made by Jazzy. Even that little janky bridge down there was, I believe, Jazzy made that to just kind of troll people who make really nice bridges, just to see how they would respond to it. I think I told her I'd make it look nice, and then I forgot to. All these buildings were made by just different members of the community. I wish I knew who made what. Otherwise, I would have made this video a long time ago celebrating them and their efforts. But honestly, my favorite part of this build for Spawn Island is our another portal tree. This giant cherry blossom is just sick, awesome, and I love every inch of it. I used it quite frequently just to get back to get back to where we all came in. Now, we did actually start our season kind of near a village that was. It's over here somewhere. I don't even remember where. I think down here. Uh, this is like one of the few remnants of the village that's left. We each kind of took over house, or at least most people took over one house. I almost did, but I'll explain where I went later. But I was not focused on this at all. Uh, this was also right whenever bamboo and cherry blossoms came out, so we were all trying to use like the new block palette and everything. That's why you see a bamboo farm here in this big building, a lot of bamboo wood roads, and of course cherry blossoms every flippin' where. Even this, look, this nether portal is so much nicer than anything I make. Oh, here's Blonde's basic shack. Yeah, see, a lot of people took over very specific houses, and I think I'm gonna try to work better on figuring out where everybody's base is instead of playing on a multiplayer server almost single player. There's a very basic bamboo farm, and most all resources were very communal. Ooh, what is it? This kind of looks like a face. Anyway, most of the resources here were very communal. I don't think we've had an actual shopping district since like kind of season 2 and 3. Season 3 we had one, but a lot of people just didn't play often enough to restock it frequently. This is actually where our spawn ended up being for chapter 4, season 4, whatever you want to call it. And we had this like little message board for people. We had, basic rules: be nice, ask Ali, prank wars, community spawn stuff, replant what you harvest. Like we were all just, what's the word for it? Socialism, communism, something like that. We were all just pretty chill about everything. We basically, unless you didn't want people to mess with your stuff, it was kind of open for everybody. Even my build, I didn't care if people came to it just to take resources. Even the ARQ, anti-rage quit haul, even with the prank war between me and Jazzy, it ended up just still being freely accessible to me. If I was her, I would have just like, yeah, no, you can't use this. Good luck now. And it would be like, all right, bet you win. So really close to the spawn, we had the anti-rage quit haul. This even says ARQ. I don't think I ever noticed that. This massive Angel of Death was made by Jazzy. It is one of the laggiest places on the server, especially just diving through on my Switch in spectate mode. I know I pranked here. I did my one prank here with the siphoning out iron very slowly. Huh. There's a villager out. Which villager is this? Which one is this? Wait, can't account. Is it sleeping? Oh, it's the mending villager, the most important villager. This was, of course, where you've always saw me using resources here. Everybody uses this. I don't think there's a single person that didn't use this. And if there was, they are a braver person than I am. I know I helped label all the glass, and that was basically the extent of it. So from there, we go straight back up the elevator. And out into the world. Here is also where Allie, the server host, actually built. I believe this was a lot of her stuff. I loved her combination of, what is this? The mangrove and the cherry wood, and they just go so well together. Is this jungle or is that spruce? I think that's spruce and cherry wood. Yeah. The dark, like brown and the pink go well together, but also the pink and the mangrove, like maroonish reddish color, just looks so well. I love the cherry blossom pink. I don't know why, but I use this tower a lot. Let's see. Oh, look. You can see through the ground. Neat. This here, again, I don't remember who made this. This was the honey tree. It looks like they were making a second one and just probably got distracted or something else and didn't finish it. This was a cute little thing. I always wondered, though, where, I know there's a freaking bee farm in here. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's down here. Let's see. Whee! Look at all the bees! The bees are so cute. Whoever made the bee model did a great job. But I've always wondered how this tree like supported itself. I'm going to go with magic. That honey fruit is just massive, but it looks really cool. I love the different textures they did. Here was my first neighbor Blun's farm. A lot of people also use this for resources. I know in the silos they had pumpkins that I used to prank Jazzy. They were my first neighbor whenever I moved over to what I called Lakeside. I wanted to make a massive redstone like machine that just lagged everything out, but I just could not be bothered at eventually. I just had so much other stuff going on. Another portal was the communal one that me and Blonde use, and I don't think they get on much anymore. But I like their farm. It's nice, it's quaint, it's simple, but it also shows like the different in build ideas people had. A lot of people have giant cohesive builds. I have, here's idea, let's build this, and it has no cohesion whatsoever. Speaking of which, I eventually did extend this pathway. I think I might have been planning to extend out that way to the nether portal, but I just never did. Huh. But I finally did extend this pathway. It took forever to get the blocks for. And I decorated my stairs going up. I got rid of the torches, and I tried to make some like kind of cohesive, like more rustic lighting setup. So, oh, I missed the torch. It's a lot of candles and lanterns. Candles and lanterns brought to you in part by a nearby bee and honey and villager farms. Oh, those candles just loaded in. But I wanted to make some look like, they were dilapidated lanterns falling down, but there aren't like sideways lantern blocks. So unfortunately, they had to just be on the ground. If only you could turn every block sideways if you wanted. But I'm glad how the staircase turned out once I had actual like nice looking lighting going up it. I did clear out all the glass hasn't rendered in. Ooh, you can see through. I did clear out all the chests that were up here, and kind of put them in my pseudo storage system. I removed all my houses down here and all my farms, besides my little wheat one. I can't be bothered. Don't at me. I did leave my little fall pit. That was kind of. I use that so much I kind of had to. Who took the wheat? Was that me? Oh, there's a ducky still. The only part I didn't finish in my base was I pulled a green and completely forgot to do the backside of my terraforming. I was going to terraform this down, but I didn't realize how deep it was in the water behind the base. I remember this spiral of wool just took forever to actually commit to it. I did get a neighbor at one point. I remember this person kind of built underground. I think they were going to hollow out this area and build a actual house, but didn't. And then there's like these Viking buildings over here. I really, really love, especially because I liked watching the was it Last Kingdom and playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It gave me such a like mood to actually watch more, play more of that game. Just going and visiting these the first time I did. Then across the Lakeside, we have Jazzy's castle. I think she built this after she finally was satisfied with the ARQ. I never actually explored it. Don't at me. But I did like having the castle to see in the distance. I'm so glad Spree's sleeping, having the day pass. Having the castle in the distance to look at though was just so nice, especially while working on the tower because it was within render distance. So I'd gradually see Jazzy complete progress, especially while working on this island you see up here. But we'll get to that in a moment. Back to my tower. My tower, I wanted it to have a whole bunch of farms, and it does. It also these support legs, I wanted them to look kind of weathered and like they've been like repaired over time a lot and everything. And I kind of like how they turned out. I actually had scaffolding still here after I moved, and I had to break it down. But I also custom made some cherry blossom trees, and by that I mean I dug up some grass, cleared out leaves above them, and planted a sapling and bone wheeled it till it grew, and then I took extra leaves to basically combine and to make a forest. Now, up top we have the sheep mage lord. I don't know what you'd call this. Oh look, there I am. Look at me. I'm just standing here. This sheep is kind of the owner of the island. If you can see that I have a camera account now, that's my Switch basically set in spectate mode. This sheep is on the island, and there's also this building, which is kind of like a shrine. If you go into the shrine, this is actually where I put my storage. I definitely could expand it further, but I didn't really need to since I kept a lot of my blocks on me, or they were blocks I got from my farm. The sheep is holding a like trident thing, and I'm kind of trying to make it look like it's casting a spell to either summon it or pull all the wool out. This is the sheep's tower though, for him to do what it will. Now the tower itself does have multiple different farms. It has wool, bamboo, cane, mob, and gold. I think that's it. Everything else is kind of just like byproduct of it. That all get funneled through vertical glass. Oh, look, mobs are dying. And they all can, besides the mob one, all of them can be turned on with the press of a button. If you push the button, all of them will turn on, besides the mob one, and you can push it to turn it off to reduce lag if you need. Yeah, here's the bamboo. And most of these are just very simple. They all funnel in and get shot through a simple 4x4 glass column. Just due to how Minecraft mechanics work, if a dispenser shoots up into the glass column and there's nowhere else for the blocks that it's shooting up to go, they will just rise up vertically until it gets to an empty space. So you could abuse that to make an elevator without using water. It is so inefficient. Look at all the sheeps. Well, the sheeps are not really sorted outside of every single row has one of each color, and there's 3 rows. This here is where you can just drop shears. Now that there is actually the crafter in the game, this would make it so much easier, but unfortunately the crafter came a little too late. And this, you basically push that button and the train track goes around, auto loads the shears, so you could theoretically, well, there's a chicken, theoretically never have to actually deal with it. That chicken is a remnant of someone egging my base, by the way. But I do get a nice view to look over on my island. But my island, or not my island, but my base didn't start off up here. It started off below ground, actually. And the reason why is the reason why I picked the spot. Jazzy, when she found the seed, found an area that had 3 spawners, a skeleton, a spider, and a zombie spawner, and I decided to make a villager farm right next to it. That's where this giant drop down comes in, decorated by Jazzy in one of her moments of boredom and prankage. She made it very, very pink, and I don't think any iron golems are spawning in right now, simply because my actual character is up on the island and too far away. So everything is so pink. I mostly just used a few villagers for trading for emeralds and resources. Here we have my spawners. This is my skeleton spawner. I could go in and just if I'm near it, it'll turn on automatically. They all just die via magma cubes or magma blocks. Oh, there's an iron golem on my zombie spawner. That's a thing. There's also a spider spawner in there, but I just did not actually do anything with it, so there's no point to it. Jazzy broke a few pieces of glass, I believe, and had to repair it. And she also was doing something and broke villagers or something and had to make that little hallway. Couldn't get something to work. But in exploring down here and getting more obsidian, I found an area that opened up into another fun area. And that area is Jazzy's Deep Dark Village. This is actually kind of right underneath her ARQ. And the furthest corner of it, weirdly enough, extends all the way kind of to my base. So what I did is what any sane person would do, and I made rock, paper, scissors via redstone. You basically, each player goes to a side, and there's little buttons you can push, but you can't see the other side. You push the whichever button. So say I want rock, I'll push it over here. Other person goes to the other side, pushes scissors, and then there's little dividers to hide what was pushed, and whichever side lights up is the side that wins. If both sides light up, it's a tie, and there's always a winner or a tie. And then this is all the redstone. The wool made it really easy. I think pink is rock, orange is paper, orange is scissors, and green is paper. I think I might be wrong, but each one corresponds to the correct one. And essentially, the way it works is it kind of like you pick one, it'll send a signal back, and until you pick a second one, nothing will happen. But once you pick the second option, it'll send that signal back. And if one side picks one that beats the other, it'll block off the redstone trail. But because both signals have been sent, it'll check to see which one is actually sending a signal all the way to the back, send a signal to the front, which one won, and then reset everything. And I'm sure this could be so much more compact, but I am mediocre to average at, well, I guess I would say average at redstone. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even been able to do this if I was mediocre. I'm very bad at using repeaters and repeaters, comparators, all that shit. Well, repeaters are easy, but comparators, I have no idea what the hell they do outside of checking to see if shit's inside boxes and whatnot. But this took me probably, I don't know, maybe a week and a half or so of just like planning and moving and blocking, killing blocks and stuff. It was a pain in the ass to do. Here's where you send the signal back all the way up to the reset, and these lead actually to bells on each side, so the bells should ring if your side wins. I think both sides will ring if there's a draw. This little part right here was so much fun. I forget which side it does which, but like whenever the piston pushes the redstone block back, it will trigger these redstones that are horizontal or that are vertical. Like they'll connect to it and signal forward. Otherwise, it goes back to the other position and sends it back or some shit. I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked at it, like actually made this and looked at it. I love looking at redstone though. It's so much fun. I got the idea to use wool strictly from Mumbo Jumbo. In fact, a lot of my stuff that I do is inspired by Mumbo Jumbo. Even the glass column, I think I got from a Mumbo Jumbo video a long time ago. Ooh, there's a geode. But yeah, if you go like damn near straight up from that's not how you go up. If you go straight up from the little mini game, it'll actually take you up to my tower. Oh look, you can see where my sheepies are. There's actually a pit that you can fall down that leads you straight to the rock, paper, scissors. But yeah, here we go, on to the sheep, the Lord and Savior of the islands. And alas, that is where I'm going to end this. I know there's a whole lot of people who built stuff on season 4, and I legitimately just don't know where their stuff is or how to show, like, the best way to show this, especially in the time frame I have. I have a 1.5-year-old now, and he is so attention hungry. My current job is making it hard for me to work at home now, so it's harder for me to like just do videos in between breaks or like right after I clock out or anything like that. So it's harder for me to actually make these videos, and I love making the videos, but it's also kind of draining. I want to make more videos, but I also want to be able to play the game without having to feel like I have to record everything I do. So for season 5, we've already got a location picked out. Go figure. My next base is actually inspired by a mumbo jumbo video from 4 years ago that had like 2.5 million views. So I've got a plan for my next base, but I'm also probably not going to make as many videos and I know I didn't make a whole lot for this season, but I think I'm just going to make videos to just showcase progress. And I think that'll be the best way to keep me sane. I love making these videos and I love showing off what I'm doing and the stupid stuff, but I want to have a nice work-life balance. Anyway, I think this is going to be probably the best way to end this video. So I bid you adieu, and I hope you have a great rest of y'all's day.